Good morning, Chillie Falls here with Chillie Cruises, which is supposed to be my live broadcast at 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time this morning, but due to literally breaking news as I speak, I went on and went live now, and I'll have this up as a video by the time folks that are looking for my live broadcast at 10. The breaking news this morning, and I'll mention that first thing. We got several other things to cover, but the Allure of the Seas is in port in San Juan, Puerto Rico. If you've missed the stories the last couple of days due to political unrest and rioting in the Old San Juan section of San Juan, Puerto Rico, two of the Royal Caribbean cruise ships that were scheduled into San Juan as a port of call, the Empress of the Sea day before yesterday and Harmony of the Sea yesterday, canceled the visits to San Juan. Of course, the passengers on both ships were upset. However, this is one time, folks, and I've said this several times, I am all in favor of what Royal Caribbean did, concerned much more with the safety of their passengers in a situation of turmoil, which was going on in San Juan. There has been no official word from Royal Caribbean, from the San Juan Port Authority, or from on board the Allure of the Sea as to anything that's been said or happened this morning. I have been monitoring the global positioning of the ship, have been monitoring the webcams on the ship, and they are in the harbor at San Juan, maneuvering toward the dock, and probably at 6:30 they were doing at 7. I would say they may have docked just in this last minute or so that I've been on the air, but they are in the harbor and going into San Juan. Now, why? And does that mean that the situation is cleared up in San Juan? No, it does not. There has been no word on that this morning either. This particular schedule, they were doing at 7 a.m. Local time in San Juan, leaving at 2 p.m. this afternoon. So they weren't going to be there at late afternoon and evening hours when there seems to be more of a propensity for violence in this situation with the riots and political unrest. So morning, short visit. This might be a test by Royal Caribbean to see what it's like. I'm certain that they have announced to the passengers the latest on what's going on in San Juan. There's no, if unless you just have to get off the ship, there's, you can certainly stay on the ship while it's in port. I do that quite often because I don't walk well at my age. I stay on the ship quite often when it's in port. So the passengers certainly can do that. However, if they wanted to go to San Juan, they had excursions booked. They're there. So the two real serious questions on the situation come up this weekend. And that's the two ships that are based in San Juan, which is Freedom of the Seas of Royal Caribbean and the Carnival Fascination, are both due into port. They unload, thousands of passengers, reload thousands of passengers, and sail off again for the next cruise. Because the majority of folks sailing in and out of San Juan are from elsewhere, that means that they've got to travel to San Juan. So you've got all those people coming into town, usually the airports, all those people leaving town via the airports. And in a situation with the political unrest and turmoil, was that going to cause problems where it was either company going to have to change their schedule at the last minute? I would certainly think if either one alters the schedule for either ship this weekend, it has to be done today, because it takes time to get to San Juan, and you can't just do that at the last minute. So that's what's going on in San Juan. The Allure of the Sea is in port, which may be an indication of things getting better, and it may not. But anyway, kudos to Royal Caribbean for the way they have handled this. I know a lot of the passengers, and I've talked to several of you and texted with several of you. I know you guys are upset over the whole situation, especially Empress of the Sea, that they had a double whammy because they were supposed to go to Cuba and got changed out of after the cruises were booked. The itineraries were changed, and then a secondary change from San Juan also. So I feel for you, but folks, Royal Caribbean did the right thing on this one. So hats off to them. Now back to normal things. This is Chillie's Cruises. Chilliefalls. Regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. We normally have live broadcasts of travel and cruise industry news on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This broadcast is in place of the broadcast that was going to be at 10 o'clock this morning due to the breaking news on the Allure of the Seas. If you're new to this channel, I welcome you. We're one of the little guys. We're up to 1,387. It's just under 1,400 subscribers. We welcome you all. This is a channel that deals with cruises and travel, and I do not work for a cruise line or a travel agency. I can therefore am not controlled in any way in my opinions about things. I'm a longtime cruiser. I started cruising actually in the late 70s. I'm an old dude. Cheers. Some coffee here this morning. Excuse me. All right. We got some other stories to cover today. But I did want to welcome everybody. As always, I'd appreciate if you give me a little thumbs up. If you don't like what I'm doing, you can give me a thumbs down too. But I really appreciate the thumbs up. That tells YouTube that somebody's actually listening and watching. And you can always leave comments on questions and thoughts. Send me texts, send me messages. If you're interested in booking a cruise, let me know that, and I can work with you on that and help out. There's always links down in the description. My main link that I'm promoting right now is concerning Michelle Obama's book on Audible. And no, folks, this is not a political statement. It's just that's a bestseller. And I use Audible, and you can get Audible has a great deal right now. It's like 3 months for $4.95, and you get I don't know, 3 or 4, 5, I don't know, some free books, which you can actually get Michelle Obama's book, her memoirs, free, I think, if you sign up for 3 months of Audible. I use Audible all the time. When I go on a cruise, I will have a book loaded into Audible so that I can listen to it on my tablet or on my phone. Can listen on the plane. I like to, if I have a balcony, I sit out on the balcony with a pot of coffee in the morning. I can listen to the book out there and just watch the water go by. Is one of probably my favorite time on a cruise. But anyway, Audible is great. There's a link to it. You can follow it to Amazon. Even if you want to shop for something else on Amazon, you can use that link to get there. And this channel makes a few little shekels to help support the channel. So we appreciate all that. Now, getting on to the next story. My friend Bruce over at Traveling by Bruce, and if you guys don't follow Bruce and his channel, I highly recommend it. he does a lot of things similar to like I do things similar to like he does. He's much bigger and been doing this longer than I have. But Bruce does a Monday night show live now. He was doing 5 or 6 days a week with live broadcasting. He's had to cut that back. But anyway, he broke a story last night concerning the Carnival Vista. Everybody knows about the Carnival Vista and the propulsion issues and the dry dock in Freeport on the floating dry dock where they literally lifted the ship up out of the water so they could repair the azipods and the bearings in the azipods. The scheduled time was to be back in service in Galveston, Texas by July 27th. Apparently, according to my friend Bruce, that they're done early. And as a matter of fact, Carnival is offering a super deal on I believe it's a 4-night cruise out of Galveston, which would be on the 23rd. And it's dirt cheap, folks. I mean, it's like from $149 up. Suites are like $300, so it's like $75 a night for a suite. Because it's they didn't know they were doing it. This is they got done early, and they're throwing a last-minute cruise together with the security stuff you have to do on the passenger list. Now, I'm sure they've got about 3 days to fill the ship. So, if you can get to Galveston anywhere near, that's a super deal. So anyway, my friend Bruce broke that. We've been following the Carnival Vista situation. So that's awesome news for Carnival and awesome news for the Carnival Vista, needless to say. So now we'll see how the new azipod, they're not new azipods, but the repaired azipods do. There are several other ships that have experienced similar problems, but boy, this might be a new way of fixing it. Okay, moving right along, we got some little interesting news from another of Carnival's umbrella corporation. The investigation from, that's been several weeks ago now, into the apparent near miss between the Eurodam and a pod of whales has been closed, concluding the vessel did not violate federal regulations. Julie Spiegel of NOAA Fisheries confirmed that the agency's Office of Law Enforcement determined Holland America's Eurodam altered course and slowed speed as it approached a group of humpback whales on June 24th. Under federal law, vessels must maintain a distance of at least 100 yards from humpback whales. A video shared widely on social media, and we talked about this at the time, showed the Eurodam cruising by the surfacing whales. A man in the background claims to have radioed the ship twice over the course of about 15 minutes, warning about the whales, and it didn't slow down. Spiegel said NOAA received several complaints from the public after the video was posted. Mark Sutherland is the person who shot the video, was working on the vessel Shiagov Dream something like that at the time. Sutherland said he didn't file a complaint with NOAA, but says he was surprised the investigation was closed so quickly. If you can show them a video of it and they're not going to act on it, I don't know what you could ever do to get them to take a stance, Sutherland said. If that's not damning, I don't know what is. He said the incident made him angry because he was working in Seward in 2016 when the Zandam pulled into port with a dead juvenile whale draped across its bow. Folks, I really don't know what to say about this. The video evidence that I saw from this gentleman's video, now again, I'm not a boat captain, a ship captain, but man, it sure didn't look like they slowed down or altered course. And they were close to those whales. And I happen to be an environmentalist, and love, especially whales. When I've been up in the Alaska waters before, a number of other places in the world, I love to sit and watch the whales when we get close to them. But anyway, Carnival's they've had a tough environmental record, folks. They really have. So this one is a win for Carnival, and I'm not real sure about it. I'm not. I'm just not real satisfied with the outcome. Just from what I saw, now I was not there, but what I saw, it looked like that they probably violated the law and was just ignored. But that's my feeling. So anyway, that incident is now closed. All right, from my friend Dave Monk, another one of my buddies over on the other side of the pond. AmaWaterways is considering a return to Egypt and building a second double-width river ship after the successful launch of Ama Magna. Its founders Rudy Schreiner and Kristen Karst said yesterday. The company will not follow competitors such as Viking, AmaWaterways, and Crossy Europe into ocean vessels, and will stay with the river vessels. They just recently launched a river vessel in Egypt, and it's been quite successful so far, and they're planning on building another one and continuing on in that situation in Europe. I've never done a river cruise. My friend Emma did a river cruise recently and loved it. So I don't have any firsthand experience. Excuse my throat this morning, folks. But anyway, my friend Dave Monk of Ship Monk, if you look him up online on his videos, is going to be on this Ama Magna, I believe, this week. But anyway, interesting thing is more development of the river cruise industry. Okay. Now, Royal Caribbean's had a kind of a tough go of it this week. Here's one, might be a prelude of what's coming. Royal Caribbean will begin adding a new fee excuse me, for a few attractions on one of their cruise ships starting in November. The cruise line said that in order to improve guest experience and to minimize wait times, there will be a fee for the North Star and the Ripcord by iFly on Quantum of the Seas, starting with the November 16th sailing. The new fees will be as follows. Ripcord, which is a simulated skydiving situation, it's going to be 29 bucks. North Star, which is that arm that goes up in the air, is I don't know how way up above the ship, kind of like riding an elevator, sort of. North Star is going to be $12 for adults, $8 for children up to 11 years of age. Bumper cars, which are complimentary now, you can upgrade to the express lane. I have no idea what that is. I assume that you get in a car and with less traffic. I don't know. It's $5 per person. So they're adding some fees for what have been free features. In a time when I believe that the cruise industry needs to start doing things to attract more customers, because they lost the Cuba market, and there's a whole bunch of ships out there now that have had to scramble. Smaller and older ships were mostly was used in the Cuba marketplace, but those ships now are all competing for passengers, ports of call, places to go, things to do, and to attract more people because they don't have Cuba now, I can't see that adding fees for things that have been free is going to help the situation any. I don't know. Same thing with drink packages. I would think drink packages need to come down some, not go up. But that's just my thought. I think the cruise industry is coming into a period where they're going to have some problems to deal with. And generally, that means that they need to attract more customers. And that's usually done by lowering prices, not raising prices. But anyway, that's what's going to happen in the fall on that ship. All right, MSC Cruises, the brand new 181,000 gross ton MSC Grandiosa will become the new flagship of MSC Cruises and is preparing for her sea trials. 6,300 passenger ship. It's currently under construction in France. She's expected to take to the seas in the next couple of weeks for her first series of sea trials, which will be off the coast of France in the Bay of Biscay. Obviously, we're going to be hearing a lot about that. I believe the Grandiosa, which will be the newest flagship, is going to be European based, as most of the MSC cruise ships are. But it might be that will free up another of the ships to come to the Caribbean or somewhere over on this side of the pond. But another nice new ship will be online very soon from MSC. So if you're interested in doing one of the first cruises on the Grandiosa, let me know. I'll get you some information on it. All right. The final story today is from Princess. Princess Cruise Line has announced that its two newest ships, the Sky Princess and the Enchanted Princess, will feature an escape room at sea. The Phantom Bridge escape room combine digital and physical challenges and involve players captaining and steering a ship through past and future. The room will also have accompanying lighting, sound, and digital features to create a realistic experience. New feature on the Princess. There's not any news as if this will be free or it's something that they're going to charge for, but both of those ships, of course, are currently being built, the Sky Princess and the Enchanted Princess. So interesting feature coming up on that. So that's the latest on travel and cruise industry news. Let's see, this is volume 52 on the 18th day of July 2019. I haven't talked to, but it's been so busy here for the last 10 days between the hurricane tropical storm last weekend and now the whole situation with San Juan this week. Just to chat a bit about where I am. I'm in Forest, Virginia. Forest, Virginia is in Bedford County, right near Lynchburg. I live on my sister and her better half. My niece live on the family farm. So I might make reference to the farm. That's here. Where I am. The house that I live in on the farm, part of the house was actually constructed in 1903. So it's been here a while. We are originally deeded from, we think, it's not any definite proof, but it fits in a lot of the historical data we have, that this land at one time was owned by Thomas Jefferson. His summer home, Poplar Forest, is less than a half a mile over that way, very close. And at one time, most all the lands in this area were under Thomas Jefferson's control. A lot of that came into the marriage from his wife. But anyway, I live on a farm. I love to travel. I love to cruise. So that's why we talk about cruises. We talk about travel. We talk about anything related to any of those. So I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry, including the latest on cruise ships' ports of call, cruises themselves. I do some interview shows that are called Chillie Chats. And of course, the regular episodes of travel and cruise industry news, which is usually live broadcast on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Today, we went on live early, and this will be posted as a video because of the breaking news with Allure of the Sea getting into San Juan despite the political unrest and so forth that's been going on there, causing cancellation of several ships. So that's why we went live early this morning. This will be posted a video for any of you that were looking for the live broadcast. Just my apologies for that, but it was a breaking story and we needed to get it up. So that's pretty much it for here. Anything new that comes up, if we have anything over the weekend, especially from San Juan, I will get that posted as quickly as I can via a video. And if nothing else, we will see you on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time with travel and cruise industry news. For now, this is Chilliefalls of Chillie Cruises, the fat travel guy. Later, y'all.